So I'd like to introduce Anne Kelly. Hello, it's nice to see you
Hi.
again, Anne.
Nice to see you too.
Thank you so much for being part of Ain't the Archies. It's wonderful to have your piece on the wall.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be part of it. Thank you.
And you called your piece Stay at Home, and you started off with you and Paul at home, your husband. Do you want to talk to us a little bit about your piece?
So it's a composite piece, really. It's the central panel is all hand stitched, and it was inspired by a visit to a Canadian textile artist, because I think one of the briefs for the exhibition was to be inspired by another artist, and she's called Anna Torma. She lives in Baie Verte, which is in the east part of Canada, and she does she's Hungarian by birth, but she's Canadian, lived in Canada for many years, but all her work is hand stitched, and she does huge, great big panels. And I went to see her in 2018 because I was in an exhibition nearby, and I actually went to university near there, so I know the area a little bit. And it was just brilliant. We had a lovely visit, and she showed me her studio. And more than anything, I just loved the way she lived, because it's literally her whole life revolves around her work. She lives in her studio, basically. She has a small holding, so the house that she brought her children up in now is like a guest house for them. But she's built this one-story studio, and she just lives, works, and makes work there, and it's brilliant. So I was really inspired to do some serious hand stitching because of her. Because actually hand stitching doesn't take as long as you think. Once you get going, it's quite quick. And I started this habit as well when I was at home during the pandemic of stitching of an evening, because the evenings are a bit boring, aren't they, when you're in lockdown? So that was how the central panel started. And then I decided I'd add a border, which is machine and hand stitched, and it has things that you would find, domestic things at home. So the wine bottle and the glasses and the newspaper and all the things that you have at home. And actually those elements were from a piece of fabric that I was given in Australia. So I'm not sure whether you gave it to me, Anna, or somebody else, but it was an old tablecloth, and it had lovely illustrations on it. So some of those elements are mixed up with other vintage bits, and some hand stitched bits that I've put in as well. So it's what I call a composite piece. It's lots of different things put together.
So it's a boomerang. It's come home again.
It has, exactly.
You love Australia.
Absolutely. I do. I love it.
And it's so distinctly you, that piece.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's slightly different than some of my other work, because it hasn't got the surface texture that all my pieces tend to have, but it has it in areas. So there's some of it, but there's also quite a lot of hand stitching and different types of stitching, which was, in a way, it made it like a big sampler, which was fun to do as well. Try
do you like
things.
Doing portraits?
I actually have become more attached to portraits recently, because it's a sort of evolution. I've always added people into the odd piece, but I think I was asked to be a part of a group exhibition last year for a charity in Britain, and it was a really renowned gallery, Candida Stevens Gallery, which is a lovely gallery in Chichester. And I did these, I actually brought them to show you because I thought you might ask about them. I did these dream portraits, they're all about people, but the dreams that they've had during lockdown, because I talked to people, and actually there's some research about the dreams that we're having in lockdown, and they seem more vivid. I think because psychologically we're focused more on home, but we also think about the past and things come up. So I decided to do a series of dream portraits for that. And then I suppose I've done portraits for various nostalgic pieces or pieces about my childhood. These are a couple I've done with my sister and I. This is when we were little. So these are trying to, add a sense of place and time into the piece, and portraits do that really well. I think for me, it's not about making something look photographic, because that's a camera's job. For me, it's about giving character and putting your own stamp on it and making it feel that it's truly yours and part of you. So, and that's what I love about textile portraits, actually, because you can really see how different, especially in this exhibition, you can see, looking through the catalogue, how everybody's approached it from their own perspective. But everybody's style has really come through as well, which is lovely. So it's great to be part of.
So, Anne, yeah. I believe that you've been writing about portraits, haven't you?
Yes. And I did an article about portraits in textile art a few years ago on textileartist.org. And the link will be on the website when Anne does the interview. And I've got an exciting new project in the pipeline to do with portraits as well. So research. So that will be good.
So we'll watch your website with interest.
Watch my website. It'll be coming to fruition in 2023. So.
Well, thank you so very much. It feels like you're here in my lounge room with me.
I wish I was.
And I look forward to seeing you when we all open up again. And thank you so very much for being part of this show.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you.